how that worked.
I've always went around Miss Mary's barn to do
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
I've always been the type of person that I had multi talents, and I didn't do just one thing. So sometimes I can do something over here that will relate to something I'm gonna do over here later, and it kind of comes full circle. There was no straight track for me, and I did not take a straight track, so I can't give that kind of advice or information. But one of the things is networking.
Yeah.
You know, it's a powerful word, networking. Networking quietly as well as being loud. There's times when you need to be boisterous,
Yes.
and sometimes just to kind of just be quiet and things will work themselves and come around to you, you know, in a networking circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's something that we should all do in whatever profession.
Because I
we're
think
in.
your personality precedes your talent.
Okay.
So I try to make sure that my person is always in the right, and then my talent will come through.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who are some of the artists that or musicians that you look up to?
Living, or
No, it doesn't have to be.
okay. Definitely John Coltrane.
Okay.
There's a multitude, you know, the Grover Washington, of course. A lot of Philadelphia local people that you may not have heard of. But number one was my father, I would say. And then now in the industry today, I love Layla Hathaway, Gerald Albright, Kirk Whalum. I call them my big brothers
Okay.
in the music.
Yeah.
There's so many
Kirk
people.
is bad.
Yeah, a preacher on the preacher. You know.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I had an opportunity to. We did the show on one of the jazz cruises, and I had an opportunity to talk to him about his artistry, and he's a bad brother, very deep
Yeah, yes.
gentleman.
And that's what
too.
comes through his horn. And that's what I was saying about your personality, you know, kind of pursuing your talent. Because that horn is just that. I make it live. I
Right.
put the life into it. Same thing with the pages of a book. You have to put the life on those pages for it to come forth.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, do you, for the people that you named, including your dad, that influenced your music, is some of their influence in your music?
I would say yes, as well as everyday stuff.
Okay.
Maybe how I wake up in the morning, or woke up yesterday, and I had something on my mind that can come and infiltrate itself into my playing. I think as a musician, it's our job to make a listener feel, hear something different than when they came into the room. And that could be make them happy, make them, you know, you could maybe remind them of something sad. You can make them cry. You know, it's an emotion that I want to send out to have come back.
Okay. So, in some regard, you're a messenger. You're a catalyst. You're a vessel.
Absolutely. I always say it's the L, and I'm in this corner. So
Okay.
it comes down,
Okay. Yes.
it goes out,
Yes.
it comes back to me, and I send it back up.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a really great analogy and a great way to see it. So you talked a little bit about your process for writing music, as abstract as it is. And I'm certain that different, as you pointed out, different musicians may have a different way of engaging in that. What are some of the challenges that you're finding in the industry? And I'll just open it up to whatever area you want to speak on, whether it's in getting the inspiration on paper or actually producing it or distributing it or marketing it.
It's a very good question. Like writers get writer's block, you do get musician block sometimes. Until something maybe inspires you to move you, or you may write a little snippet of something, put it away, don't go back to it for years, and then all of a sudden you have a different outlook on it when you hear it again, so then you can write the whole song, you know. About the industry, it definitely has changed. Now being where it's easier to be independent, you don't have to rely on record companies.
Yeah.
So it's whatever in whatever direction you need to go in, you can go into. But I would say one of the most important things is research. Always research. You know, you have to do your own research, and then filter it down to the information that you have. Filter it down to what works for you. Because what's for you is for you.
Right.
You know, and not necessarily for that person.
Right. Absolutely. So, what's your next project?
Next project, music-wise, or?
Oh, well, let's talk about music-wise first.
I actually.
And does it happen that way? Do you say, wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to do an album. I'm going to start a new album today. I mean, like, how does that work?
I would say yes for other individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that. How can I put it? Artsy,
spontaneous.
Yeah, sometimes I have to kind of languish with it for a minute, and then sometimes it'll just come, and you have to go with it. I believe in going with my spirit, so I trust myself, and you know, so it'll take me where I need to go. And if it's a dead end, it always shows me, okay, well, now you make a left turn or you make a right turn. So, yeah.
And that can all happen in a span of what, 6 months, a year?
Doesn't matter.
3
A week.
months, a week.
Yeah.
You could do like, and how many songs do you feel most comfortable having on an album?
I think unlike back in the day where you would have, 12, 13, 14 songs, because the market in terms of the buyer, they're not necessarily buying CDs like that now. So they're buying singles. Yeah. So when you do, I think a CD, a good 7 or 8 tunes is very viable for today's market. You may sell more singles than the CDs necessarily. However, CDs I don't think are going to disappear because they're good marketing tools. They're good for when you're on your particular gig or event. They're good giveaways. You keep your audience engaged.
Right.
And plus people like tangible stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Or maybe it's us because we're at a certain age.
That's true.
And the younger people are downloading everything, and so they would rather have it
electronically.
Electronically.
I get that. I can't tell you how much I miss opening up an album.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
a whole
reading.
Experience. Yeah, I get that. So you mentioned the industry a minute ago and how easy it is now to not necessarily have that big production backing behind you. You can just go out, you can produce it yourself and put it out there. Are there challenges in that you see?
There are, because it's so many different avenues or things you could take. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is now a online record A&R person.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Do your research. Find out. What works for you and what you trust. As you know, the internet has its good side and it has its bad side, but you could use it as a tool.
So the A&R people, what are they selling? What are they hiking now?
Well, A&R people are people who are claiming that they can get you this or get you to the record labels
for a fee.
Yeah, well, of course. That's what I'm saying. So do your research. Sometimes it works to your benefit. I'm finding for myself now, venturing into this full blown, that it can be expensive, and it could be time consuming, and you need to have patience. And even if you're not savvy and all that kind of stuff, find some folks that can help you. You know, don't be ashamed to have folks back you up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really good, especially to avoid the pitfalls. But, you know, for my dream catchers, because I'm always looking out for them, who are just out there trying to find a way to navigate all of that. Are there any resources that you could recommend? Anything, whether it's bloggers or people, or if you want to name drop a particular company that you think is reputable, to let them know.
CD Baby's a very good resource.
Okay.
Disc makers, they are actually manufacturers of CDs. They do LPs. They do still do LPs, posters, and all kind of stuff. They're very good. They have a house full of services that they can offer at decent prices, and they're legitimate. So that's CD Baby and disc makers.
Tried and tested.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what advice would you give to our artists out there?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Music is a gift that was given to you for a purpose. Don't stop.
Never give up.
I didn't say it to you earlier. I actually stopped for about 8 years. And it's interesting because when I stopped, I did more singing than playing. So the way I kind of filter it is I learned a lot. So when I got back on the horn, I had a lot more to say. You know.
Yeah,
But don't stop.
that
Don't
was
stop.
part of your
Don't stop.
journey to do
It's
it
all a
that
journey.
way.
If I could just say,
Yeah.
there's a tune on here that I submitted to an organization.
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
To an organization in Hollywood. They're called the Hollywood Independent Music Awards. And one of my songs got nominated.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Which song?
In Flight.
In Flight,
Yeah, which
featuring
features
Tom
Tom
Brown.
Brown.
Okay.
Remember Jamaica Funk?
Yes.
Oh, that Tom Brown.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, this I can't wait to pop this open and pop this into my CD player. Check it out, Dreamcatchers. So
I'm gonna head out to LA next month to the award show. You know,
Well,
so that's what I'm saying. Don't stop. You never know what door that's going to open that'll have something new for you, a new experience. You know.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the
Thank
show.
you.
It
This
was
was
a
beautiful. I
real
appreciate
pleasure
it.
having you. And Dreamcatchers, thanks for tuning in and being a big part of why we do this. It is my hope that you are inspired in your own writer's journey and that this season will inspire you to continue to finish, whether it be penning your book, your script, or laying down tracks like our artist today. You can stream us on any of our 9 streaming platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and the #1 network on the continent, the American Legacy Network. For more information on where to tune into our broadcast or podcast, visit our website at www.writershavenshow.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Arthur V. Helena. So I want you to keep me posted on your progress, and perhaps I'll see you in the Haven. Well, until next time, catch fire on purpose.